Welcome back to my professional difficulty no damage walkthrough for Resident Evil 4, my friends. So we just escaped from the caves and now we're going to head into the mines. We're going to stay underground for quite a while, but before we move on ahead we can sell some stuff to the merchant. And in this chapter we're going for a train ride of sorts. But it's not that bad of a chapter, and once again we can use a few strategies which should make our life a little bit easier.
Got some rare. What are you selling? Is that all? Thank you. Is that all? Is that all? Thank you.
We can also sell the crown with the appropriate jewelry. Remember, in order to get all of the jewels, you need to defeat the Verdugo in chapter 4.1. But even if you sell the crown by itself or with just one of the jewels, it will still sell for a nice price. And there we go. By doing this, we regain all of the ammunition. And like I said, it's always a good idea to, instead of reloading your weapons, if you're not going to fight any more enemies, just keep going until you meet the merchant again, and chances are that you will be able to upgrade the capacity of your guns the next time you meet him, and by doing that you'll get a lot of free ammunition. And now we're going to disrupt the campfire. Really, Leon is going to be a hooligan here. Look out, Pedo! I think we got them all. None of them dropped a whole lot though, that's a shame. Maybe, like I speculated before, maybe they weren't ganados at all. Maybe they were just nice villagers enjoying a nice night out, telling ghost stories around the campfire, and we just murdered them all. Nice move, Leon. Anyway, we're going to head back into the mines, or caves, whatever you want to call them. And once again, I'm going to use a strategy that it's really simple, and it will allow you to save some ammunition. Not that you need to necessarily at this point, but either way, I'm still going to demonstrate it. First, let's just get that guy out of my way. And now we're good to go, because there are bear traps on the ground and we want to avoid them. So we'll take a little passage through here, go through here. And the guy with the chainsaw isn't coming down yet, so let's try it now, because I hear that chainsaw. There we go. He was being kind of sneaky. But now we're just going to stay here and use the knife to dispose of the enemies one by one, which will allow you to save some ammunition. Although, like I said, it's not necessarily mandatory that you save ammunition at this point in the game. We are getting closer to the end of the game, and as such, we have plenty of ammunition to spare, but in case you haven't been following my walkthrough from the start, let's just say you ran into this chapter somewhere, then I guess this strategy does come in handy if you are struggling a little bit with ammunition at this point, and that way you can stock up, save your ammunition and save it for later. Because even though it does take a little bit to dispose of all the ganados with the knife, it does work pretty well. It is taking them a while to get up here though, so I might finish them off and eventually jump down. I just want to take care of this guy first. Let's finish this the old-fashioned way. There's only two of them left anyway. There we go. So we get some nice rewards. Wait, there's more? Well, I guess I'll take care of them first, because there's a chainsaw ganado down there. And I don't want to deal with him at the same time that I have to deal with these guys. I guess maybe only after I pick one of the keys does that trigger the appearance of these three ganados. Maybe that's why. Anyway, let's get rid of them the old-fashioned way. Why not use a grenade? We have a few to spare. Hopefully that's enough. There we go. And now let's take care of the last one. Strategy is always the same. Shoot them once, and then while they're on the ground, use the knife to save some ammunition. And it doesn't take that long. Come on, there we go. You know, because wearing a bag over their head totally protects them. Especially against a shotgun bullet. Anyway, we're going to get rid of the bear traps here, just to be on the safe side. I don't want to get accidentally caught and have to start the chapter over. Come on. Make sure you pick up that velvet blue. And now if you go through here, there's one lonely ganado. Come on, do it! That worked out pretty well. You know, it just occurred to me that instead of selling all of those items to the merchant, maybe Leon could have kept the scepter and at the same time kept the crown and go around wearing the scepter and the crown and declare himself king of the Ganados. That would work. I tell you, falling ceilings with spikes are getting old in Resident Evil, they really are. I mean, there's one in Resident Evil 5, there's one in Resident Evil 4, there's one in the remake, and I'm sure there are others, I just can't quite think of them at this time, but it seems to be a recurring thing. That and explosions. So I suppose Resident Evil 4 takes it to the next level by actually blowing up an entire island. Anyway, we're going for a kart ride. And this section on professional, you know, it can be a little bit troublesome because, as you know, the Ganados are more aggressive, and of course it doesn't matter in this case because it's a no damage run, but since Leon will take more damage per strike, you do need to be extra careful. Why would they jump before the train cart even passes by them? Oh, there's a guy there. Oh, they didn't see you. It's a good thing that they always announce their presence before they attack, otherwise we might be in trouble. They're always saying behind you, or, you know, get him, and so on. Oh boy, that's not good. We most certainly don't want company. Even though if you do let them inside the carts, eventually they will drop ammunition, as opposed to if you kill them before they get inside the carts, then you won't get anything. Let's keep going. You know, it doesn't quite make sense that the railroad would end, well, on a cliff. Again, Ganado logic, they didn't do a very good job building this, that's for sure. But we are almost out of here. And we're going to have some company, but really, I don't know why you guys are jumping inside. You know that we're going to head towards a cliff. We're all gonna die. Well, it's over now. All aboard the Doomsday train. We get to go to hell, fellas! Yay! Well, you will. It's their own fault. They knew that this was going to happen. They knew that the railroad would end in a cliff and that they were going to fall. Fortunately, Leon has this super jump ability, which allows him to pull these stunts off, just like he can lift himself up while carrying a machine gun with a single arm. You know, typical supreme athlete type of thing, you know. He's a very strong fella. But anyway, that's going to be it for this chapter, my friends. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I will see you all later for the next part, where we are going to finish off the little cheats. Take care.